5, 4, 3, 2.
Are you still aware in your environment?
Do you still care on our environment? Do you want to prevent the sudden changes in the environment? Hi, I'm Joshua Doctalero. I'm Adriel Pasamonte. I'm Jairus Collado.
I'm Shalimar Mejia.
And I'm Rex Darwin Sabariaga, and this is Earth's Possible Future.
Climate is changing very fast. The ice is starting to melt, hurricanes and typhoons are getting stronger, wildfires are on rage, coral reefs dying in large numbers. What we are experiencing right now is just a less than a degree of warming. Now, we will see the effects of a warming planet degree by degree. This is the world with additional 1 degree.
If the world warms by 1 degree, the Arctic is ice-free for half the year, opening the legendary Northwest Passage for ships. Tens of thousands of homes around the Bay of Bengal are flooding. Hurricanes begin hitting the South Atlantic. Severe droughts in the western U.S. cause shortages in global grain and meat markets. This could be our world plus 1 degree.
This video is a simulation of possible natural disasters in the year 2030.
This is a CNC update from the Midwest dust storm just now reaching the Dallas area.
I'll tell you, it is pretty unbelievable here at ground level. This is definitely the worst of these storms we've seen this month. Right now, my main concern is my safety. The dirt has just knocked out our equipment. We are grabbing these shots from my cell phone. It looks like we're going to have zero visibility in about...
This is the world with additional 2 degrees.
If the world warms by 2 degrees, some changes to the biosphere are no longer gradual. Greenland's glaciers are disappearing. So much ice has melted, polar bears struggle to survive. Insects migrate in strange new directions. As a temperate climate moves north in the U.S., pine beetles kill off the white bark forests, a grizzly bear's key source of food in the fall. New forests take root in Canada's melting tundra. The Pacific islands of Tuvalu are lost beneath the rising tides of global warming. This could be our world plus 2 degrees.
This is breaking news on the Southern California water crisis. We have just received word that even tighter water rationing restrictions have just been announced as the drought now enters its 2nd decade. All non-essential uses of water will be prohibited indefinitely, and water blackouts may occur in some areas during peak usage. Penalties for non-compliance with the new measures will be severe.
This is the world with additional 3 degrees.
If the world warms by 3 degrees, the Arctic is ice-free all summer. The Amazon rainforest is drying out. Snow caps on the Alps all but disappear. El Niño's extreme weather patterns become the status quo. The Mediterranean and parts of Europe wither in searing summer heat. This could be our world plus 3 degrees.
This is a simulation of possible natural disasters in the year 2050. There will be too much landslides and France will be like Middle East.
This is a CNC update on the New York storm surge catastrophe.
Okay, we have just been informed that the National Guard has finally arrived and rescue efforts are now resuming. I repeat, now resuming, with local emergency services completely overwhelmed and the water levels up to 25 feet high. This is great news. I know we were forewarned, but I still cannot believe my...
This is the world with additional 4 degrees.
If the world warms by 4 degrees, oceans rise, overtaking heavily populated deltas, home to 1 billion people. Bangladesh washed away. Egypt inundated. Venice submerged. Glaciers disappear, shutting off the flow of fresh water to billions more. Northern Canada becomes one of the planet's most bountiful agricultural zones, while a beach in Scandinavia be the next Saint-Tropez. The entire West Antarctic ice sheet could collapse, sending sea levels rising even further. This could be our world, plus 4 degrees.
This is the world with additional 5 degrees.
If the world warms 5 degrees, 2 massive uninhabitable zones spread into once temperate regions of the northern and southern hemispheres. Snowpack and aquifers that feed the world's great cities, Los Angeles, Cairo, Lima, Bombay, are drying out. Climate refugees number in the hundreds of millions. This could be our world plus 5 degrees.
I think in a world which is much warmer than now, 5 degrees, it's going to be inconceivable that human civilization can withstand that kind of a climatic shock.
Now we enter the twilight zone of climate change, a nightmare vision of life on Earth. Perhaps most frightening of all is how much we can't know. Traditional social systems would break down.
I think it's the poor everywhere that are going to suffer, because if you take the example of, say, Hurricane Katrina, which I'm not saying was necessarily caused by human-induced climate change, who were the worst sufferers in the city of New Orleans? The poorest of the poor. They were just left behind.
The best way to survive the catastrophe of a hotter planet is to prevent it from happening in the first place. Failing that, we may be confronting far more difficult choices.
This is the world with additional 6 degrees.
If the world warms by 6 degrees, from a distance the oceans may appear bright blue, but they are marine wastelands. Deserts march across continents like conquering armies. Natural disasters become common events. Some of the world's great cities are flooded and abandoned. This could be our world plus 6 degrees.
Warmings of 6 degrees over longer time periods have been associated with some of the most devastating mass extinctions which have ever taken place. So it's certainly fair to assume that if temperatures soar by 6 degrees within less than a century, that we're going to face nothing less than a global wipeout.
6 degrees of warming has been called the Doomsday Scenario. Our lives would never be the same again.
The warning signs are all around us. There is still time to prevent the worsening of global warming and climate change.